Delve into one book daily, and today we're diving into influence. Have you ever had moments like these? Walking into a supermarket intending to buy only a carton of milk, but ending up checking out with a full cart of promotional items? Purchasing an appliance you didn't really need after a salesperson's enthusiastic pitch? Or even changing your original opinion on social media just because most people liked a different take? We always think we're rational decision makers, yet we're often led astray by external factors without noticing, making choices that go against our initial intentions. These involuntary moments hide the most hidden psychological logic behind human behavior. As a classic in social psychology, Influence, written by Robert Cialdini, has been translated into over 40 languages since its publication in 1984, with global sales exceeding 5 million copies. It's not just a must-read for marketers, but also a guide to help us see through the psychological traps behind our actions and take control of our decisions. Before delving into the book, let's imagine a scenario you might have experienced. On a sunny weekend, you're wandering in a mall when a neatly dressed staff member stops you and hands you a free sample, maybe a small bottle of shampoo or a piece of chocolate. You take it instinctively and say, "Thank you." Then, they start promoting their product line, telling you there's an exclusive discount for immediate purchase. Suddenly, your firm resolve to just look around wavers, and you'll most likely end up buying something. You think it's just a random impulse buy, but in reality, you've fallen prey to the reciprocity principle proposed by Cialdini in the book. Just like the fundraiser Cialdini encountered in his research, when the fundraiser first gave passersby a flower before asking for a donation, the success rate increased significantly. "I just don't want to owe others a favor." This is the inner monologue of most people in such situations. The social norms we've been taught since childhood tell us that if we accept kindness from others, we're obligated to repay it. This psychology is so deeply ingrained that even when we realize we're being manipulated, we still struggle to resist. As recorded in the book, researchers sent Christmas cards to randomly selected families, and most of them sent back cards even though they had never met the researchers. The instinct of reciprocity deep in our hearts makes us unconsciously maintain a balance of give and take in relationships, which becomes a key breakthrough for others to influence our decisions. Next is the social proof principle, which permeates almost every aspect of our lives. Have you noticed that when one person looks up at the sky on the street, others around will follow suit, even if no one knows what they're looking at? When a restaurant has a long line, you subconsciously think it tastes better and are willing to join the queue. On social media, when an opinion gets a lot of likes and shares, you're more likely to believe its validity, even abandoning your original judgment. Cialdini tells a classic case in the book. In the New York subway, researchers deliberately left a wallet that looked abandoned. When a decoy pretended to notice the wallet and show concern, the probability that other passengers would help guard the wallet or contact the owner was more than 3 times higher than when there was no decoy. If everyone is doing it, it must be right. This is the truest psychological activity when we follow the social proof principle. In an era of information overload, we don't have the energy to analyze and judge everything in depth, so we take others' behaviors as a reference. This shortcut decision-making method helps us avoid risks in most cases, but it also easily traps us in blind conformity. For example, during the pandemic, there was a craze for hoarding toilet paper and disinfectant. Many people didn't actually need these supplies, but they joined in subconsciously because they saw others doing it, fearing they would be left behind. The psychological pressure brought by group behavior makes us give up independent thinking unknowingly and be swept along by the group's rhythm. In addition to the reciprocity and social proof principles, Cialdini also proposed the commitment and consistency principle, which plays an important role in building our self-perception. We all want our actions to be consistent with our previous commitments, and we don't want to be seen as inconsistent. The book records an experiment on children. Researchers asked one group of children to promise to be good kids who take care of toys and don't throw things around, while the other group made no such promise. Later, During free playtime, a significantly higher proportion of children who made the promise took good care of the toys, and they consciously kept their promise even without adult supervision. This psychology also applies to adults. When you promise a friend to work out together on the weekend, you'll show up on time even if you want to be lazy, because you don't want to break your promise. When you publicly express support for an opinion, you'll subconsciously defend it even if you later find flaws, unwilling to back down easily. Businesses also often use this principle. For example, letting consumers fill out an intent to purchase form first. Even if consumers don't buy immediately, the probability of them buying the product later increases significantly. Because filling out the form has subtly made consumers psychologically committed to the product, and they are more likely to complete the purchase to maintain consistency. The authority principle is another undeniable source of influence. We are born with a sense of awe for authority, a psychology rooted in humanity's reliance on experience and professionalism during evolution. When a doctor gives a diagnosis, we follow it without hesitation. When an expert comments on an event, we are more likely to trust their professionalism. Even when someone wears clothing symbolizing authority, such as a police uniform or a doctor's coat, their persuasiveness increases dramatically. Cialdini conducted a shocking experiment in the book. Researchers hired actors to play doctors and call nurse stations, asking nurses to inject patients with a drug dose exceeding the safe limit. Although the nurses knew the dose was too high and the hospital had clear rules against following instructions over the phone, 80% of them were ready to carry out the order after repeated requests from the doctor. He's an expert. He should know better. This was the core psychology behind the nurses' choices. We often abandon our own judgments and principles and blindly follow instructions because of someone's authoritative status. This psychology is also widely used in marketing. For example, skincare ads invite dermatologists to endorse products, and electronic products emphasize expert recommendation. These all use the authority principle to lower consumers' psychological defenses and enhance product credibility. But we often overlook that authorities can also be wrong. Blind obedience to authority may instead put us in a passive position. The liking principle and scarcity principle stem more from our emotional needs and psychological sense of lack. We are more easily persuaded by people we like, a feeling that may come from their appearance, personality, values, or shared interests. Businesses often take advantage of this by having attractive celebrities endorse products, or letting salespeople actively find common ground with consumers to narrow the distance and improve persuasion. The scarcity principle, on the other hand, leverages our fear of loss. When something becomes scarce, we subconsciously perceive it as more valuable and crave it more. Common marketing phrases like limited edition, time-limited discount, and last one in stock all create a sense of scarcity to stimulate our purchasing desire. You may have had such experiences. You weren't interested in a piece of clothing at first, but when the salesperson tells you it's the last one in your size, you suddenly feel the urge to buy it. A product is expensive, but when you see time-limited discount, today only, you feel like you'll never get another chance and make an immediate purchase. If I don't buy it now, it'll be gone. This fear of loss makes us irrational in decision-making, controlled by the sense of scarcity. Cialdini points out in the book that the scarcity principle is effective not only because it makes things seem more valuable, but also because it triggers our competitive instincts. When we know others are competing for the same scarce item, our desire to possess it becomes stronger. These 6 principles do not exist in isolation. In many scenarios, they overlap to exert a stronger influence. Take live streaming sales, for example. The host first distributes coupons to the audience, reciprocity principle, emphasizes limited quantity, act fast, scarcity principle, shows product sales volume and positive reviews, social proof principle, explains product advantages as a professional blogger, authority principle, interacts with the audience to narrow the distance, liking principle, piles, and guides the audience to Lock in the discount by placing an order. Commitment and consistency principle. Under this series of operations, even if the audience had no initial purchase intention, they are easily persuaded to place an order. We always think our decisions are made independently, but we don't realize we've long been guided by these hidden principles, falling into psychological traps carefully designed by others. It's worth noting, however, that Cialdini repeatedly emphasizes in the book that these principles themselves are not evil. They are natural products of human social interaction and often promote the orderly operation of society. For example, the reciprocity principle allows kindness to be passed between people. The social proof principle helps us adapt to new environments quickly, and the authority principle enables us to better accept professional advice. The key is not the principles themselves, but whether we can clearly recognize their existence and avoid being manipulated by others who abuse these principles. The core value of influence is not to teach us how to manipulate others, but to help us see through the psychological logic behind human behavior, thereby achieving self-awareness and control. When we deeply understand these 6 principles, we realize that our susceptibility to influence stems essentially from our reliance on mental shortcuts in decision-making. In today's fast-paced society, we are faced with a flood of information and countless choices. It's difficult to analyze and judge everything comprehensively and in depth, so we unconsciously rely on these mental shortcuts to improve decision-making efficiency. But these shortcuts also become breakthroughs for others to influence us. For us living in the present, the enlightenment of this book is particularly profound. In an era of information explosion, we are surrounded by various advertisements, marketing rhetoric, and social opinions. It's easy to lose ourselves in the chaos of information and make choices that go against our original intentions. Many people fall into the trap of consumerism, constantly buying unnecessary goods, essentially manipulated by principles like reciprocity, scarcity, and social proof. Many people blindly follow trends, chasing popular careers and fashionable opinions, also due to the social proof principle. We seem to have more freedom of choice, but we are invisibly constrained by various hidden forces, losing the ability to think independently and make autonomous decisions. This book teaches us that true freedom comes from understanding and controlling our own psychology. When we face free gifts, limited time temptations, or group conformity again, we can consciously remind ourselves, this is the reciprocity principle at work. This is the scarcity principle manipulating my mind. Do I really need this? Has my judgment been influenced by others? This clear awareness allows us to jump out of psychological traps, return to rationality, and make choices that truly meet our needs. At the same time, influence also provides important guidance for our interpersonal communication. Understanding these principles helps us better understand others' motivations and build connections with them. For example, in interactions, taking the initiative to show kindness and following the reciprocity principle can narrow the distance between us. In team management, using the commitment and consistency principle to make members clear about their goals and commitments can improve execution. In communication, leveraging the authority and social proof principles can make our opinions more persuasive. But we must adhere to the bottom line. We should not abuse these principles to manipulate others. True communication should be based on sincerity and respect, not exploiting psychological traps for personal gain. Furthermore, this book makes us reflect on the relationship between self-identity and the group. In society, we are inevitably influenced by the group, but this does not mean we have to abandon independent thinking. True maturity lies in respecting group laws while maintaining our own judgment, refusing blind conformity, and not being coerced by the group. As emphasized in the book, the effectiveness of the social proof principle often stems from uncertainty. We rely more on others' judgments when we lack understanding of something. Therefore, improving our cognitive level, broadening our horizons, and cultivating the ability to think independently are the fundamental ways to resist improper external influence. In this era full of temptations and distractions, Influence is like a mirror, reflecting the deep psychological weaknesses in our hearts and providing us with ways to break through difficulties. It tells us that we don't have to be passive puppets controlled by others. Through cognitive awakening and deliberate practice, we can take control of our decisions and become masters of our own lives. Whether facing consumer temptations, social pressures, or communication challenges at work, the principles in this book can provide us with ideas, allowing us to balance rationality and emotion in complex social interactions, neither hurting others nor being hurt by others. Throughout our lives, we are constantly learning to get along with the world. Influence teaches us that the premise of getting along with the world is to first understand our own hearts. Those involuntary moments and seemingly accidental decisions all hide interpretable psychological logic. Reading this book is not about becoming sophisticated or utilitarian, but about keeping a clear and independent mind in a complex world, not being led astray by desires or external voices, and making choices that are truly loyal to ourselves. No summary can replace the original work. A good book is worth reading page by page. I'm Paper Campfire. If you like it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to our next encounter.